So we will start again our topic, our practice of reading articles. So today's topic is again from Mr. Shashi Tharoor, the twilight of deliberation when Parliament becomes a rubber stamp. He is talking about Parliament is not working good. It's working as a rubber stamp like a robotics. There are no discussion we can expect what he will write in that. So let's start. The winter air in the New Delhi is not just thick with smoke, it is increasingly heavy with ma- malodorous scent of a decaying parliamentary culture. The recently concluded winter session of Parliament has not merely been a display of legislative efficiency, as the Treasury bench claimed, but a dismaying masterclass in the systematic dismantling of our deliberative democracy with the passage of high stakes legislation. So he is talking about like इन अभी जो पार्लियामेंट सेशन हुआ वहाँ पर अकेले दिल्ली में प्रदूषण नहीं हो रहा है, इवन पार्लियामेंट का जो कल्चर था उसमें भी एक प्रकार से प्रदूषण या फिर बोलें कि उनकी जो परंपरा थी वो डिके हो रही है. इसके बारे में उन्होंने बात करी. मोस्ट नोटेबली द सबका बीमा सबके रक्षा इंश्योरेंस बिल, द शांति न्यूक्लियर बिल एंड द विकसित भारत ग्राम, previously Manrega. Government has once again demonstrated its preference for the built instrument of a legislative majority over the fine-tuned machinery of parliamentary consultation. तो ये कह रहे हैं कि जो 3 बिल पास हुए वो मेजोरिटी से हुए, कोई उस पर डिस्कशन फ्रूटफुल नहीं हो पाया. द रूलिंग डिस्पेंशन डिफेंड्स दिस builds his tactics under the noble sounding tagline of a productive session. But at what cost does this productivity come? When the velocity of governance outpaces the capacity of scrutiny, the result is not progress but a precarious descent into an executive autocracy. Today, the hallowed halls of Sansad Bhavan are treated less a forum for the people's representative and more as a convenient processing plan for cabinet's decision. So he is talking about when government saying this was a productive session because they successfully passed 3 bills, but he is pointing out that on what cost, like there is no discussion on the bill, what is written there, what are the rules, how they will going to benefit people. The number tell a story that no amount of ministerial rhetoric can mask. In 24-25 we saw the spectacle of 8 out of 10 introduced bills sailing through both houses with pre-functionary ease. Two of the most transformative pieces of legislation in recent memory, the Insurance Amendment Bill, which permit 100% foreign direct investment, and the Shanti Bill, which privatize our civil nuclear energy sector with scarcely any burden of liabilities, were passed amid the din of protest and the hollow silence of opposition's walkout. Even more galling was the bulldozing the Gram G bill to replace a 20-year-old lifeline like Manrega, a scheme that has proved transformative for 2 decades and which saved millions from destitution during the pandemic with a completely new framework, and do so on the Rajya Sabha past the stroke of midnight is an affront of the very spirit of Parliament. Despite the opposition's repeated reason, please to refer these complex bills to standing committees, our request was summarily rejected. This is no longer an aberration, It is a decade-long pattern of legislative fast-track that treats examination as extraneous and conflict nuance with nuances. तो ये कह रहे हैं कि जो FDI 100% आ रहा है इंश्योरेंस अमेंडमेंट बिल में, इसके बारे में कोई चर्चा नहीं हुई। इवन तो मुझे भी यही पता चला कि अब ये पढ़ के पता चला कि ऐसा कुछ हुआ है। और शांति बिल जो आया है उसमें भी न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी को अब प्राइवेट लोग भी न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी से एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस कर पाएंगे। सो ये इसका खबर था मुझे। The uninitiated committee consideration might sound like a dry, bureaucratic hurdle. In reality, it is a heartbeat of a functional democracy. It is in these committees, away from performative historians of televised session, that bills are dissected by experts, questioned by multi-party representative, and refined into workable law. Data from PRS legislative research offers a grim epithet for this practice. तो ये कह रहे हैं कि विदाउट स्टैंडिंग कमेटी में जाए ये बिल पास कर दिया गया, बिकॉज मल्टी पार्टी कल्चर से लोगों के अलग अलग व्यूज़ आते हैं, उस पर कंसर्न्स आते हैं, देन गवर्नमेंट कम आउट विथ ए गुड बिल. 15th Lok Sabha under UPA second 70% of bills were referred to committees for detailed vetting. Under the current regime, 17th Lok Sabha, that figure plumbed to a merge 16%. When we bypass the second look that committees provide, we invite disaster. We have seen this movie before. The ill-fated farm laws were rushed through Parliament without committee scrutiny, only to be repealed a year after prolonged protest on the streets. Lawmaking without deliberation is like building a dam without studying environmental impact. It may look impressive on inauguration day, but it is destined to crack under the tidal pressure of reality. ये कह रहे हैं कि एक कानून को बनाना बहुत अच्छा लगता है पहले इनॉग्रेशन वाले दिन, लेकिन यदि विदाउट इन्वायरमेंटल पे उसका क्या इम्पेक्ट होगा उसको कंसीडर किए बिना यदि बनाया जाता है तो वो मतलब ख़तरनाक भी हो सकता है. The decline in committee referrals is exacerbated by the shrinking clock of the floor of the House. In the 17th Lok Sabha, nearly 35% of bills were passed with less than 60 minutes of discussion. Imagine laws that will govern the lives of 1.4 billion people for decades are debated for less time than it takes. Watch the episode of Pets Bollywood. The most egregious tool in this arsenal of silence is the guillotine. The practice of passing massive tranches of financial legislations and chunks of the entire union budget without any discussion worth name. When we saw this in 2018 and 2023, it signaled a fundamental breakdown when the power of purse primary check a legislature hold over the executive is surrendered so meekly. The legislature effectively becomes a glorified notice board for government intention and a rubber stamps for its wishes. What is lost in rush? It is the voice of stakeholder on these bills. MPs never heard from insurance employees union who fear the volatility of 100% FDI, nuclear safety experts who have legitimate concern about private liability in the Shanti bill, or Manrega workers who are being forced to a new G-gram framework they neither understand nor help shape. By shutting the doors of the committee room to their testimony, the government is essentially telling the Indian citizen, we know what is best for you. Your input is unnecessary delay. For a मतलब ये कह रहे हैं कि गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ भी डिस्कशन नहीं किया है और कैसे कैसे उन्होंने एक हिंट दिया है कि एफडीआई से एम्प्लॉयज़ जो कंपनी में काम कर रहे हैं उनके ऊपर क्या इम्पेक्ट हो सकता है। एक जो पूरा इंडिजीनियस इंश्योरेंस मार्केट है उसमें जो कंपनियां हैं उनको कैसे वो इफ़ेक्ट कर सकता है, और जो लोग इवन इंश्योरेंस लेते हैं उनके जो क्लेम्स रिजेक्शन होते हैं उसके ऊपर कैसे इम्पेक्ट नहीं होगा। फिर शांति बिल में जो प्राइवेट लाइबिलिटी बताई, क्योंकि यदि एक प्राइवेट प्लेयर आएगा तो उसको रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी भी उठाना पड़ेगी कि उसके कारण जो पॉल्यूशन होगा उसको वो कैसे मैनेज करेगा। कुछ डिजास्टर हो गया तो हाउ दे विल गिव रिलीफ टू द पीपल। और मनरेगा में क्या चेंज हुआ ये किसी को नहीं पता है, ये कहना चाह रहे हैं। आखिरी में इन्होंने कोटेड लाइन में कहा कि गवर्नमेंट ये सोचती है कि उसको पता है कि जनता के लिए क्या अच्छा है, विदाउट उनके इनपुट के वो उसके कारण देरी ना हो। इसलिए फॉर ए डेमोक्रेसी टू बी ट्रूली रोबस्ट इट मस्ट प्रोटेक्ट द 3 Ds: डिबेट, डिस्कशन एंड डेलिब्रेशन। विदाउट दिस द sanctity sanctity of parliament is hollowed out from within. Debate on the merits of proposals and deliberation over the opposition's counter suggestions are the lifeblood of parliamentary system. A regime that relies on its numerical majority to stifle dissent is not a strong government. It is an insecure one afraid of scrutiny. If the government continues to treat the opposition as a irrelevant vestige, it leaves many with no choice but to take the argument from the floor of the house to the dust of the streets. If we see massive protests against G Ramji bill in the coming weeks and months, the blame will lie squarely at the feet of those who refuse to let MP shape it in the committee room. It is ironic that while we celebrate the mother of democracy, we presiding over her strangulation. It is not the democratic system that has failed the Indian people, it is the rules who have failed the system. We must not forget that in a true democracy, the minority must have its say even if the majority ultimately has its way. The writer is Member of Parliament from Thiruvananthapuram, Lok Sabha, and Chairman, Parliamentary Standing Committee on External Affairs. So, yeah, this is a wonderful article which is saying what is happening in our parliament. Without discussion, many bills are passed. So, he is concerned about that the tradition is breaking, and in rush, government passing the bill without honest discussion. So if there is any flaw in the bill, or if any good point someone want to add, there is no option. And he given the example that how farm law has to repeal within 1 year without of because of farmers concerns. So that's all. Thank you, have a nice day.